Yeah. What's going on, fam? What's going on, everybody? This is our boy, Coach Malachi Williams in the building. So happy to be here today, man. So happy to be here today. If you woke up this morning, it's a good day. Remember that. Or if you woke up today, it's a good day, depending on what part of the country you're in. You know what I mean? So this morning or whatever, this afternoon, or however you do it, you know what I mean? You woke up, it's a good day. I want to give everybody a quick shout out right quick, man. My main man, CH4RLO. What's good, brother? What's so good? Hey, man, I'm following you on Instagram as well. Check your Instagram. I followed you. Followed you on Instagram. Ken Burton, what's up, fam? What's going on with you, baby? What you got going on? Fear will fight like AJ did against Vlad. Okay. Okay. Let's see what's up. Halim in the building. Halim is in the building and still believing when he was drinking 12 pints of lager. Yeah, Fury is on a real good diet. I heard that if you drink 12 to 14 pints of lager a day, it helps you lose a lot of weight. You see what I'm saying? That's what I heard. You know what I mean? You know how I was, Halim. When I heard him say that, I was so upset. You know what I mean? And then you the one told me that, hey, man, he's just pulling your leg, so Fury does that. But I'm glad you told me that. You know what I mean? Topentine, what's up? Topentine in the building. What's going on, baby? What you got going on? He's going to be stinging like a bee and flying like a butterfly. Strategic thinking to make AJ tired easily. Okay. I see y'all already getting it in already about what the strategy gonna be. You see what I'm saying? Brandon Calhoun, what's up, baby? SLDBC. I love it. Yeah, man, the SLDBC. That's their brand. I branded them that name. You know what I mean? Ken Burton, what do you say, fam? I love your channel, man. I really appreciate that, bro. I really do appreciate that. Really appreciate that, man. You know what I mean? The Joker, that's my favorite character, man. What's good, coach? Do you think Fury can take the fight to AJ, or should he keep his distance? Hey, I'm going to get into that. We're going to get into that. But first, man, let's talk about the elephant in the room, man. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Mr. Agnes, Fury's playing us all, and we're falling for it. Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Angus, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. You know what I mean? Well, he had me hyped up. He had me upset. You know what I mean? But I do understand Fury's frustration. Some of it is due to his own fault because he could have fought last year in 2020, but he chose not to for whatever reason. You know what I mean? But I want to talk about, man, Tyson's Fury, his body transformation, his weight loss. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, man. Like, I like the big Tyson Fury better so far. You know what I mean? Now, I'm just saying. And the reason why I say that is this. Now, I understand Tyson Fury's camp has they have a certain strategy, a method to their madness. Does Tyson Fury look real good? He looks real good. I'm not going to lie. I've never seen him look like this. Maybe you guys in the UK might have seen him look this small, but I've never seen him look like this. He just looked real small. It seems like to me he looks too small. You see what I'm saying? I wonder what his weight is right now. I wonder what Tyson Fury weight is right now, but he looks good. Now, the reason I say all that to say this, Mr. Smith and West, what's going on, fam? Fury might have lost too much weight. We know he will be on his unit cycle. But based on what AJ's training tactics and surface level game plan, he might be in trouble. Yeah, you might have a point, and that's what I'm saying. Has he lost too much weight because he looks too small? Now, I will say all that to say this: just because this is the way he looks now doesn't mean this is how he's going to look going into that fight. We don't know when that fight is going to happen, between AJ and Tyson Fury. If it happens later on in the year, like at the end of the year, you know what I mean? Then who knows? But I don't see him losing all of this weight to fight Deontay Wilder for a third fight. That's a telltale sign to me. You see what I'm saying? Because the strategy that they implemented in order to defeat Wilder in the second fight, he gained weight. After he got his legs up under him, he came in at about like 273, 275, something like that. And we see what the outcome of that was. Now, why did they feel like, he needed to lose weight? To me, he just looked too damn skinny. Does he have power? Will he have his strength? You see what I'm saying? Now, that's just me on the outside looking in. We could be totally wrong. He might be strong at that weight. You see what I'm saying? He might not have lost too much weight. He's 6'9". So let's say Fury weighs like 240 pounds. If you weigh 240 pounds at 6'9", okay, if AJ weighed 240, he looks good at 240. But by Tyson Fury being taller than AJ, 240 may look slimmer. Well, it's going to look slimmer on someone who's taller. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm seeing. But it's just to me, man, I'm just asking, like, do you guys think he's just too small right at this point? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I mean? And maybe, who knows what's going into it? Is okay, we're going to strip him down, get him nice and fit, get that cardio up under him, and then build it, and then build the weight back up, but build muscle back on it. You know what I mean? If that's a strategy, then that's a good strategy. We don't know the strategy of what's going in, but I just don't see him losing weight like this in order to fight Deontay Wilder for a third fight. You see what I'm saying? Because the strategy that he used to defeat Wilder worked to perfection, from a standpoint of, putting the weight on him when they got close, mauling him, mugging him. You know what I mean? It looks, and as you know, Tyson Fury has excellent footwork and excellent upper body movement. That's what I like about Canelo Alvarez as well. You know what I mean? Punch Drunk. Punch, what's going on, fam? Oh, man, thank you so much for the support, fam. Good looking out for the super chat, Punch. Fury's at his peak prime when his body is athletic and intellect is coexistent at its highest level. This is a prime age for the heavyweight. God bless. Hey, Punch, good looking out, man. Hey, listen, man, Punch, Punch has always showed me love when I first came on the scene, man. So if you're not following Punch Drunk boxing, he is hilarious, bro. He is just as funny as I am, or if not, I think he's a little funnier than me. He's just hilarious. You know what I mean? Just the way he does his intro. Mr. AKA, I like to call Punch Mr. AKA, AKA, you know what I mean? Because he always says, Mr. this, Mr. that. He has all these different aliases, right? So I just like to say, Mr. AKA, also known as AKA. But yeah, man, yeah, Punch, you're right about that, fam. Because I'm thinking like, you might be right. You know what I mean? It's just that I know what I'm saying, Punch, is I never seen him look like this before. So I'm like, man, has he lost too much weight? But then again, he is 6'9". He's 6'9" tall. So by him being 6'9" tall, that weight looks a little different versus on someone else. You can even see it in his face. And that's the only thing I was thinking about, fam. Like, there's no way he could be losing all of this weight or lost the weight that it's obvious he's in prime shape. Just like you saying, Punch, he's in prime tip-top shape right now. So that's obvious at this point. But I say all that to say this. I was looking at the weight, Punch. I'm like, you know what, man? There's no way he's lost this much weight to fight Wilder for a third fight. Because the narrative that's going on with the Alphabet Boys, he's going to have to fight Wilder and the arbitrator's going to do this and that. Don't nobody know what the arbitrator's going to do. Unless you spoke to the arbitrator yourself, how do you know what they're going to do? So let's cut it out. So I say all that to say this. There's no way that he's losing weight like this in preparation for anyone else. You know what I mean? So it has to be he's losing weight for AJ. AJ is going to be in prime shape. Fury's going to be in prime shape. It's just that, I'm not used to seeing him look like this, man. He looks like hey, I don't want to say it, disrespect Tyson Fury, but he looked like a crackhead. You know what I mean, to me? Because he's so tall and he looks so skinny. I never seen him look that small, bro. Like, that's the only thing, you know what I mean? But will he still have power? But Punch, you make a valid point. Athleticism is the name of the game. And Tyson Fury has excellent footwork. We already know this. He has excellent footwork. He has better footwork than Anthony Joshua. So, and by him losing this kind of weight, if he was able to move and dance around the ring at 270 and 275, what would he be able to do at the weight that he's at now? So if his strategy is to outbox Anthony Joshua, then man, that's going to be a hell of a strategy. You see what I'm saying? Because the boy can box, Tyson Fury can box, Anthony Joshua can box. So Punch, you might be right. That might be the strategy of the game plan going into it. You know what I mean? So I didn't even look at it that way. I'm just looking at the weight loss. Like, man, he looks so skinny in the face. You see what I'm saying? And will he be weak at that weight? But apparently, Tyson Fury knows his body, and his team understands his body way more than I do. Me just sitting here on the outside looking in. So I trust that they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? So what do you say, Steel Chef? What do you say? You say he was in great shape against Klitschko. Was he this small against Klitschko? I remember that fight. He was in damn good shape against Klitschko. I do agree. One time for the super chat, man, from Ken Burton, man.
Super chat received.
Ken Burton, man, good looking out for the super chat. What do you say, fam? Fury planning to fight. Oh, Fury planning to fight like AJ did when he did Klitschko. Yeah. That might be it. You know what I mean? The strategy, the footwork, the angles that he's going to have to put out all of the tools, against his AJ fight, because AJ is an elite fighter. No one is going to No one is going to argue that. And regardless of who you like, and Tyson Fury is an elite fighter. So when two elite fighters fight each other, they are going to have to come into it, in the best shape of their lives. Period. Bottom line in the story. It just, again, like I say, by me seeing him the way he, I like the big Tyson Fury myself. You know what I mean? I like the one that beat Wilder. But the fight Anthony Joshua, maybe he feels like, hey man, we got to do something different. It looks like he lost about 50 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, 50 pounds is a lot of weight. He looks like he's about 235, maybe 240. What do you guys think his weight is? You know what I mean? But he is 6'9", so now he can't be 230. Hey, that's too small. He's probably about 240. I give him 240. You know what I mean? He has to be 240, bro. Has to be at least 240. Somewhere up in there, 240. I don't see him being 250. He looks real slim, just like Punch said. He's going to have the athletic build. Now, if he was able to have the footwork that he's always had at a heavier weight, just imagine what type of boxer we are going to see. You see what I'm saying? Irregardless of who Tyson Fury fights next, just imagine what type of boxer we are going to see at whoever his next opponent is going to be. I don't know if it's going to be Wilder. We don't know if it's going to be Anthony Joshua, because as we know, this Anthony Joshua thing with the site and all that stuff, they still don't have a site and all, and we don't know what's going to happen with that. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes I kind of wish Eddie Hearns never would have said any goddamn thing. You know what I mean? But maybe he felt like he was pressed to say something because of what Tyson Fury was saying. But sometimes I wish he never would have said anything, because now the narrative is, we told you this fight was not going to happen. Deontay Wilder is holding up the fight like we told you, and he's going to get a big settlement and yada, yada, yada. So we know what the narrative is coming from the Alphabet Boys. But again, if you haven't talked to the arbitrator and you don't know exactly, if you haven't talked to the arbitrator, everything else is speculation. You see what I'm saying? Everything else is speculation, and depending on which side of the fence you're on, that's the narrative that you're going to run with. You know what I mean? So Bob Arum said that when he was on Fred Barbershop Talks, that, hey, listen, they go back into arbitration in May. The judge is the arbitrator. I don't want to say judge. The arbitrator is going to make his decision in May, right? So now the narrative is, okay, you won't hear an announcement for this fight. This is why Hearn hasn't announced a venue or whatever the case may be for this fight, because of what? Because of because of the arbitration. Wilder is holding up the fight. That's the narrative. And guess what? Until we get a date when this fight is going to happen, it looks like their narrative is right. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that their narrative is right. I don't believe that. I know way better than that in my mind, but it seems that way. You see what I'm saying? Because you can guess and speculate, as to what the judges is not going to do this and that. These guys speak as though these guys talk in terms of, they are in the arbitrator, in his mind. They have the arbitrator's phone number locked in their phone, and they can call him. He's telling them firsthand information what's going on. This is what kills me, right? With narrative pushers. These guys push narratives as though they have primary source information. Primary source information is like anybody who ever been to journalism school or anything like that. That's a term they use. What's the primary source? What's the primary? When you're doing any kind of research in school, your teacher always tells you what, professor, if you've been to college or whatever, they always tell you what, you got to go to the primary source of information. You see what I'm saying? These guys are not even secondary or thirdary or fourth. You know what I mean? These guys are fifth, sixth, and seventh, primary sources of information. And they heard from, one guy heard from another guy that's in their crew. Then another guy heard from the other guy that's in their crew. It's like they circle the information amongst themselves and they push these narratives. I get it. But until this fight is announced, this is the narrative that it kind of gives validity to what they've been pushing the whole doggone time. You see what I'm saying? But other than that, I don't believe that. But hey, Serge, what do you say? Serge Lieber, what do you say? Fury's stamina would be through the roof. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for him to lose the kind of weight that he has lost, you're gonna have that kind of stamina. You're gonna have real good stamina. You see what I'm saying? So he's gonna be in the best shape of his life for whoever he fights next. You see what I'm saying? Because if the AJ fight don't happen in June, which we're in April right now, and we haven't heard an announcement or anything. And Eddie Hearns has been saying for the past 2 months, something of that sort. In the next 2 weeks, we're gonna have an update. So it's been 2 weeks after 2 weeks after 2 weeks after 2 weeks, and 2-3 months later, it's the same thing. So you know what I mean? But I I'm optimistic because I just find it very hard to believe that he would take his body through this kind of transformation. And Fury must have a hell of a dietitian. You see what I'm saying? Because we know he doesn't have the body that AJ has. AJ looks more like a bodybuilder, physique wise. You know what I mean? But Fury has always been bad body. But he looks real good right now, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Like I couldn't even notice him, bro. I said, what is this dude smoking? You see what I'm saying? How did he lose weight like that? But he looks good, bro. He looks real good. Tyson and Billy Joe Saunders looking in great shape. Yeah, absolutely. They both of them do look like they're in good shape, Halim. I told people Fury can't fight AJ the way he did Wilder. Yeah. We're not saying that. I'm not saying that. Yeah, and I do believe that you told people that you have to fight AJ differently. You know what I mean? But again, we don't know when the fight is going to happen, right? But when it does happen, I just, it's obvious to me and obvious to everybody in the chat that the reason why he has lost the kind of weight that he has lost and he's looking the way he's looking right now, it's obviously that he hasn't lost his weight to fight Wilder in the third fight. Just think about that. Think about that, guys. Think about that. The strategy that was used for him to beat Wilder, right, in the shape that his body was in. He came in at 275 pounds against Deontay Wilder, and he mauled him. He mauled him like a pit bull does a rag doll or something. He mauled him. So since he mauled Wilder in that second fight and literally destroyed him, now why would you lose that weight and come all the way down? It looks like he lost about 50 pounds, bro. I'm gonna just be honest with you. If he came in at 275, 50 pounds is too much. If he came in at 275, he might be about 230 right now. So I would say 45 pounds, 40 to 45 pounds. He might be 230 to 235, less than 240. I'll say that between 240 to 230. He's probably somewhere up in there at 6'9". So he looks taller, you know what I mean? But my thing is, will he still have that punch? Will he have that power? And who knows? Power transcends when your opponent gets tired, especially if you keep hitting your opponent, with a jab or hit him with this or hit him with that, and he might be trying to use quickness and lateral movement and different angles. I just don't see him losing this kind of weight, guys, to fight Wilder for the third fight. So so to me, that's a good thing. Not the fact that I don't want to see him fight Wilder again for the third time. You know what I mean? Because the narrative is he's afraid of Wilder. Why would you be afraid of a guy who you beat twice? You beat the dude twice. If anything, it'd be the guy who got beat twice and be afraid of the guy who whooped him. You see what I'm saying? So we don't went through that already. Debunked that really. Let's see. The real Mr. Shelton, what did he say? He was nowhere near that small against Vladimir. Exactly. I don't remember him being that small against Vladimir at all. I don't remember that. I mean, he was in shape, but he wasn't nowhere near that small. No, hell no. No, he wasn't that small versus Klitschko. I remember that, bro. Punch, what do you say? Punch, facts. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't remember that, fam. I don't remember him being that small at all, bro. And that's what alarmed me. I'm like, man, this dude look too small, bro. He looks weak to me on the outside looking in. But guess what? I could be 1,000% wrong. You see what I'm saying? More than likely, I'm wrong. So don't take what I say with a grain of salt, guys. 9 times out of 10, I'm wrong as it relates to my perception. What it was I'm not used to seeing him look this way. That's what it is. I've never seen him look this way. So I'm just like, man, is he, has he lost too much weight? You see what I'm saying? But you know what? I'm more than likely I'm wrong. So I'm gonna just say I'm wrong on that. He probably didn't lose too much weight. They know what they're doing. These are professional fighters. He has the best dietitians and the best trainers in the world working on him 24 hours a day. They know what they're doing. But guess what? I will say this. There's no way he lost that kind of weight to fight Wilder for a third fight. You see what I'm saying? So, you don't need to lose that kind of weight to fight Wilder for a third fight. You can come in 275 and beat him like you did last time. You know what I mean? Because you can absorb his punches. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. So Rocket Andretti, what do you say? Say, Coach, you're wrong. Fury doesn't have better footwork, but that head movement is better for sure. No, I mean, I totally disagree with that. Fury has better footwork. Fury has better footwork than Joshua. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? I listen, that dude can listen. Look at the stuff that he was able to do from a footwork standpoint when he was big, when he was like 275 or whatever the case may be. That boy can box. He has really good footwork. He understands angles very well, and he knows how to move that upper body. You know what I mean? Yeah, he does. I mean, in my opinion, who has Who has better footwork in the heavyweight division than Tyson Fury? Who has better footwork? Just tell me. Educate me on that. Tell me who has better footwork than Tyson Fury. Fury was not as skinny when he fought Vlad. Yeah, no, he wasn't. He wasn't. The real Mr. Shelton, what he said, my man Punch. Peace and love, bro. Yeah, man, Punch is a good guy, man. Punch is very passionate. Hey, that's why I love his channel, man. We really need to support his channel. Punch, if you have a membership, let me know. I'll join it. I just joined 2 other channels memberships that as well. So if you have one, I'm gonna go to your channel when this live is over with, and I'm gonna look and see, and I'm gonna join it, and I'll pay the monthly thing because I like following channels who put out real good content. You see what I'm saying? Punch put out real good content. I like the stuff that he did talking about Canelo Alvarez. As you guys know, Terrence Crawford is my favorite fighter, but he was out of pocket when he went to talking about other stuff. But I'm gonna stay on topic. So I'm gonna stay on topic. So let's see. What do you say? I want to make sure I cover everybody. Emmett Oliver, what's up, man? In Bloom, what's going on, fam? Emmett Oliver, what do you say? Fury and his team need to move on. If no fight venue agreed within these next 30 days, I see Fury versus AJ in October, November, and not for all the belts. Yeah. They need to move. Yeah, they need to move on. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But either way it goes, Fury is ready. He's in shape to fight somebody. You know what I mean? So whoever he is going to fight is obviously he's ready for it. You know what I mean? So the old saying, it's best to stay ready. If you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. You see what I'm saying? So if you stay ready, you ain't never got to get ready. So obviously, Fury is ready. He's ready for whoever he needs to face. I ain't never seen him look that small before, bro. Like that was really alarming to me. You know what I mean? Dolomite. Hey, that was my favorite movie. One of my favorite movies, black exploitation movies in the 70s. It says Tyson Fury out here looking like Soda Popskin from Mike Tyson Punch Out. Hey, you telling your age when Mike Tyson Punch Out. Yeah, he looked real slim, man. He looked real slim. You know what I mean? So Ken Burton, what do you say? AJ should come in at about 240. Yeah, he's gonna come in at 240 because I don't think AJ don't want to get too skinny. You know what I mean? He should come in at 240. You know what I mean? So that'll be a good size for him. And if Fury comes in at 240, remember Fury is taller than AJ, so it's a possibility he could be about 240 pounds now. He just lost a lot of that fat, and the rest of it is muscle. So it's a possibility that he could be 240, but he's 6'9", 240 pounds if that's his weight. If Fury has the same weight, you know what I mean? So Hatchet, what you say? Hatch Boxer, what's going on, fam? You say yes, new media. You say yes, new media. Salute to the UK, man. Salute to the UK, man. Salute to the UK. All right. Honey, what do you say? Yeah, because Sugar Hill is not here yet. Yeah. So I think they're just stripping them down. In training camp, what happens is you're gonna continue to train, spar. You're gonna do your running, your cardio. You don't want to overtrain, so you do just enough. But you have when you're on that championship level, you're gonna have dietitians. You're gonna have really good dietitians who really know what type of foods to put in your body that's going to eliminate the fat and help build the muscle. You know what I mean? He's following a high protein diet. He's eating carbs, but he's not eating a whole lot of carbs. He's eating good carbs, not bad carbs. And you know what? Me training myself, I know that you can also eat some bad carbs as well. But I'm not talking about like cakes and stuff like that. But you can eat like some French fries, but only like maybe a handful of French fries and stuff like that. And when you're trying to transform that body, but you want to, depending on what you're trying to do with your body, you want to have a high calorie intake, you know what I mean? Mostly protein. And you have to have carbs in order to have your strength, because your strength and your energy is going to come from the carbs. So, but everything happens in phases. You see what I'm saying? So depending on who he's going to fight, you may do one thing the first 2-3 weeks, and then as you get closer to the fight, you might up certain things, start eating a little bit more of this and that and this and that in order to build the strength that you need in order to endure the punishment that you're going to have to take when you fight somebody. Because even when someone steps into the ring and fights, even if they are victorious, they are receiving punishment as well. Because the guy you're fighting, he's punching you just like you punching him. You see what I'm saying? So that I just never seen him that skinny, bro. Like I never seen him that skinny before. He looks too thin to me. You see what I'm saying? But we'll see. Can't believe anybody thinking beating Wilder means you beat AJ. Beating Wilder means less than nothing. Yeah, I mean, it means less than nothing now. You know what I mean? Because no one has beaten him up until Tyson Fury beat him. You know what I mean? So, hindsight is 2020. But again, just because Fury beat Wilder, yeah, it doesn't mean he's gonna beat AJ. But it doesn't mean AJ is going to beat Fury neither. Remember, AJ lost to Andrew Ruiz. You know what I mean? So, let's not get carried away. Anthony Joshua is a damn good fighter, but he's not no super fighter. He lost to a 300-pound Andrew Ruiz. Andrew Ruiz, I watched that fight the other night, and I'm looking at the Andrew Ruiz got dropped and knocked down by Anthony Joshua. When Anthony Joshua came in for the kill, Andrew Ruiz came in for the kill as well. And when they went to trading punches, it was the left hook to the temple, to the back of the, right here, right behind the ear, that made Anthony Joshua, like wobble. You know what I mean? And then he just poured it on him. So, anything is listen, once a fighter has been defeated, right? Once a fighter has been defeated, like Anthony Joshua, you just can't make it seem like, hey, this guy can't be beat. He can't be beat. A 300-pound Mexican Mexican-American beat him. You know what I mean? One of the greatest upsets in boxing. Facts. You know what I mean? So I can't say that because Tyson Fury beat Wilder, that means he's going to beat Anthony Joshua. That's not what I'm saying. I don't know who is going to win the fight. I've been consistent in saying that this is a 50-50 fight. I'm not leaning towards Anthony Joshua. I'm not leaning towards Tyson Fury. I don't know who is going to win. You know what I mean? Because both of them, in my opinion, have the same skill set. I shot 2 videos in my video playlist explaining how Anthony Joshua could beat Tyson Fury, and then I made a video saying how Tyson Fury could beat Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? Because I really don't know, and it all depends on the strategy, the game plan, which dog is going to show up to fight that on the night of the fight. You see what I'm saying? That's what it's going to come down to. But yeah, man. But beating Wilder means nothing when no one has beaten him until Tyson Fury beat him. You know what I mean? So you can't dismiss Wilder getting beat. You know what I mean? So I can't dismiss that. I don't want to take anything from any fighter. This was the quote unquote most feared man on the planet. That's how he was marketed in America, and he has the highest knockout ratio than any fighter in the history of boxing. So yeah, now he fought a bunch of cab drivers and Uber drivers, and he did fight some of the same fighters that Anthony Joshua fought. That is true, but he fought a bunch of cab drivers and Uber drivers and stuff like that. But he knocked them out. He did it. He beat whoever they put in front of him. You see what I'm saying? And unfortunately, in the heavyweight division, we don't have a high level of competition in the heavyweight division. You know what I mean? We have Andrew Ruiz. He's a damn good fighter. I like Andrew Ruiz. To be honest with you, we have Wilder, we have Fury, we have Joshua. I guess Odo Wallin. And we have my main man coming up, Jared Anderson. You know what I mean? Big Baby, not Big Baby Miller, not him. But Jared Anderson, he called himself Jared Big Baby Anderson. I wish he'd get rid of that Big Baby name because there's another fighter that already had that name. So he need to change it. He need to change his nickname, bro. I'm see can I get in contact with him or his people and see can they change his nickname. He don't brand yourself as Big Baby after another fighter who was already called Big Baby. And that fighter is known as being a drug cheat. You see what I'm saying? In the sport of boxing. So I don't know who advised him on that, but we'll see. But Dolomite, you're right, man. Fury out here looking real small to me, bro. He looking too small. Tell him what he say. AJ is very lean for his body. AJ is very muscular. He for his body type. He has real big legs. Like AJ can literally be a bodybuilder. You know what I mean? He can literally be a bodybuilder. He reminds me a little bit of Frank Bruno. If you remember Frank Bruno, guys, a British heavyweight champion. Frank Bruno was very big and muscular. He was a real big muscular guy. AJ kind of reminds me a little bit of him from that standpoint. The real Mr. Shelton, what do you say? The LDBC ride this thing for as long as possible. Yeah, I mean, and until we see something different, I hate to say it, they're gonna continue to ride it. They're gonna have a valid point. You know what I mean? Even though that it's not true, but it supports their narrative each day. And Eddie Hearns kind of helped that as well, because when Eddie Hearns, well, it didn't even matter if Eddie Hearns said anything. They was going to continue to say that anyways. When Bob Arum let the cat out of the bag and said that, hey, well, he didn't let the cat out of the bag. He said that the arbitration, won't be finished until May. After previously saying that Wilder lost the arbitration, So that right there is letting them know, hey, listen, this is proof that Wilder is holding up the Anthony Joshua fight. You see what I'm saying? And that's their narrative. That's what they feed in their fan base, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Ken Burton, what do you say? AJ cut from a different cloth than Wilder, man. AJ has it all: power, speed, weapons, and he has heart. And I agree with that. AJ has it all, and Tyson Fury has it all as well. You know what I mean? Both of them have it all. So let's see. I think AJ needs to shoot for 245. Yeah, whatever he feels comfortable at on Smith and West, whatever he feels comfortable at, I think that's what he needs to do. You see what I'm saying? If he feels comfortable at 245, because let's see, he's 6'5", so no, AJ 6'6". And Lennox Lewis used to come in at like 250, but Lennox Lewis was muscular. Lennox Lewis was like he was like AJ and those guys, AJ Tyson Fury, people like Lennox Lewis when he was boxing. Those are super heavyweights. Those are super heavyweights. You know what I mean? So yeah, about 245, somewhere up in there. It depends. It depends. You know what I mean? Because he has all of those muscles, so you don't want to get too muscular, and the body requires a lot of oxygen when you're boxing. So Fury doesn't have that muscle problem like that. So we'll see. What do you say? They have no journalistic integrity. No, they don't, man. But this is the thing, Dolomite. They are not journalists. You see what I'm saying? Like they didn't, like me. I'm registered with the United States Press Agency, right? They are not journalists. They don't understand about journalistic integrity. They don't even know what primary source information is, more than likely. You know what I mean? I seriously doubt they do, because if they did, a lot of the stuff that they report on and talk about, they wouldn't even say it, and then they say facts at the end of it. That's another thing I noticed from that community, right? When they say facts at the end of it, that means it's true. They'll say something, facts. Just because you say facts don't mean it's true. No. I have to do my own investigation to see exactly, to get to the meat and bones of the whole subject matter, and before I comment on it. Before I can say something that's facts. I can shoot content, because we are all content creators. That's all it is, guys. It's just that I'm a content creator in the world of YouTube. You know what I mean? A lot of you guys rock with me. I really appreciate that. I started this channel in January, and we have 2,400 subscribers right now. You know what I mean? We had 2,400 in March. So, you know what I mean? So, and the goal is 10,000. We're going to the 10,000 mark, guys. So I really appreciate you guys rocking with me. But we are nothing but content creators. And these guys make this stuff seem like it's so complicated and this and that, and yada, 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 yada. And there's a bunch of, clout chasing in this community. You get a couple of interviews with certain people who are, with certain camps. And then depending on how that turns out, you pledge your allegiance to that camp and you do certain things and yada, yada, yada. You know what I mean? But other than that, man, they are not journalists. They just guys who started a channel, and they don't understand what integrity is, because journalistic integrity is being constructive. You have to be constructive. In order for you to get to the truth of the matter, you have to be constructive. When you're pushing narratives, it's hard to be constructive when it doesn't fit your narrative. You know what I mean? Because now you're going to go against what you want to believe in your mind. See, when you're dealing with subjective thinking, you're always looking for information that's going to confirm what you already want to believe. When you're dealing with objective thinking, you're looking for research to try to counter what you believe already. Like with me, I try to find stuff that's going to go against what I believe, right? And and guess what? And if I think this is what it is, and I find out something different, then I'm gonna say, you know what, man, I was wrong about that. I need to report it here this way. You know what I mean? It's not my job to push my narrative, right? Like I love Terrence Crawford. That's my favorite fighter. I don't make no bones about that. But but I'm not gonna lie for Terrence Crawford, a cat for him. I wish the best for him, because I see in this community, there's a whole lot of people hate this guy. A whole lot of, people who look like me don't like that guy. You know what I mean? They're supposed to be pro-black, but they don't like the guy. You know what I mean? So they pick and choose. Anthony Joshua was black, but they don't like him. You know what I mean? So, I ain't gonna even get into that, but you get what I'm saying, though. No integrity at all. So what you say, it's going to be easier for him to move. Yeah, it's going to be easier for him to move. Absolutely. Tyson wins via body shots. Yeah, I think Tyson Fury is an underrated puncher. We know Anthony Joshua is powerful. Anthony Joshua is powerful. We know that. Anthony Joshua doesn't have the one-hitter quitter type punch like Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder has that one-hitter quitter. He hit you one time, it's done. If he catches you flush, it's done. The only person I ever seen get caught flush with a Deontay Wilder punch and get up is Tyson Fury. You know, he did it in the second fight, and in the first fight, no, he did it in the first fight, and in the second fight, he ate that right hand maybe like 3 or 4 times. In the first round, he ate it, and he didn't, you know, he backed up a little bit, shook it off, and it came right back to him. And I think it was because he had the weight on him to be able to absorb it and take it. You see what I'm saying? So I don't see this body transformation that Fury has right now, and he looks very skinny. I don't see that this fight is, I don't see him losing weight like this to fight Deontay Wilder. I just don't see that, because Wilder is athletic. Even though he fights wild and do the windmill punches and stuff, but he is athletic because he's lean with it. You see what I'm saying? And when you lose that weight, you are able to move around a little bit more. So, you know, who knows? Maybe this fight will happen later on in the year. But if the fight with AJ and Fury does happen later on in the year, Fury's going to fight somebody, and who they might be Wilder again. It's a possibility. You know, it might be Wilder again. So Fury's best fighting weight is 270 to 290. I think he'll bulk up again before his next fight. Remember, Tyson does everything to extremes. Yeah. I think he'll bulk up. I think, you know what, Emmett Oliver, when he fought Wilder the second fight, he was 275. So I like him at that weight. I really like him more at that weight from a power standpoint. From a power standpoint. And I'm not, you know, he doesn't have a one hitter quitter type punch, but nobody in the heavyweight division has a one hitter quitter type punch that I know of outside of Wilder. Wilder has that one punch that, you know, bam, he put you to sleep with it. You know what I mean? So Anthony Joshua is accumulation of punches, combination puncher. You know, he gets you out of there. He'll knock you down with the left hook. You know what I mean? But in the uppercut, but people will get up from it and he'll end up finishing them like that. You know what I mean? So it's just different styles of fights. You know what I mean? So I just never seen. I don't like this Fury. He too small for me, right? I mean, I'm looking at his face. You can see his bone structure in his face, and he does look good. No, don't get me wrong. Now he looks real good. I'm saying from fighting standpoint, I don't know. You know what I mean? But what do you say? Fury had trouble with Odo Wallin. AJ schooled Odo 2 times in the amateurs. Yeah, that's the amateurs though. That's the amateurs. There's a lot of fighters. See that you can't look too much into that because AJ got knocked out. AJ got stopped by Andrew Ruiz, and Andrew Ruiz was 300 pounds. You see what I'm saying? So he got stopped by a 300-pound sumo wrestler, pretty much, Andrew Ruiz. So you can't really look too much into that. Fury might have had a bad night. And the Fury might have had a bad night, and it happens. It happens when Joshua fought Andrew Ruiz. Me personally, I think it was I don't want to say a fluke because I'll be taken away from Andrew Ruiz. Andrew Ruiz beating Anthony Joshua was not a fluke. I'm not even going to say that. That'd be disrespect to him. But it happens, bro. It happens. It happens. You know, so like, okay, perfect example. There were guys who beat Mike Tyson in the amateurs, and then when he fought him when they was pros, he knocked them out. So you can't look at what happened in the amateurs and say, hey, this was going to happen. And this guy, Fury, had trouble with Odo Wallin. Well, Odo Wallin is a good fighter, right? You know, he's a good fighter. You can't take anything from him. Those guys are good fighters as well. So AJ might have schooled Odo Wallin in the amateurs, but then in the pros, he gets stopped. He gets stopped by Andrew Ruiz. So you make sure you, when you look at that, make sure you throw that in there as well. You know what I mean? You know, just being looking at both sides of the coin. I got a good feeling when they're going to make an announcement. I don't know. I'm off that announcement train, Haleen, to be honest with you. I'm off that announcement train. Salute, coach and fam. Yeah, Bruce, what's good, fam? Salute to you too. Salute to you too, fam. Hey, Smith and West, what do you say? That's a lot of weight to put on in a short time if that's his game plan. Yeah, but hey, Smith and West, check this out. We don't you guys tell me what do you think? What do you think his weight is right now? I would say he's about 240. I would say he's about 240 right now, 235, maybe 240. You know, but a lean 240, meaning that you can be 240, but just get rid of the fat around the stomach. Because the only thing that made Fury look bad body was his midsection area. So if you can focus on getting rid of that midsection, and if that's what most of that weight was, then you will look a lot slimmer. So if he's had maybe, let's say maybe he had maybe about 35 to 40 pounds of midsection fat. If they was able to get rid of that, then that's a good thing. Then he might not be weak. He might be strong as an ox at that. I can't see him getting worse. You know what I mean? It's just that it's just, again, to me, and once again, more than likely I'm 100% wrong. You know what I mean? More than likely, because nobody knows Tyson Fury's body like he does in his team. You know, it's just I never seen him that small. I don't like seeing him that way. You know, it's like Luther Vandross, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with R&B. You know, you had skinny Luther and fat Luther. I like fat Luther. I didn't like skinny Luther. When Luther Vandross lost all that weight, I didn't like that. When Oprah Winfrey, and I don't even like Oprah Winfrey like that, but when Oprah lost a lot of weight, you know, I didn't like that. Al Sharpton. A lot of you guys probably even know race hustler Al Sharpton was real fat in the 80s and 90s. And if you look at the one now, he has a real big head, body so skinny. I don't like that Al. I like the fat Al. You know what I mean? So I guess it's because you be so used to seeing somebody a certain way that's your image of them. And then when they do a complete body transformation, it's just a shock to the eye test. And that's probably what it is with me. You know what I mean? Bernard, I hear you, man. Why would Fury lose weight to fight Wilder? It makes no sense. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all to me. The Joker, what do you say? Fury's team said that he was weight drained against Wallin, and he weighed 254 then. Yeah, he probably was weight drained. You know what I mean? So he probably was weight drained. I mean, you know, but again, hell, no power. What do you say? No power. We're gonna Fury never was a big puncher. Nah, Fury wasn't a big puncher, but you don't need to be a he does have 21 knockouts, with 22 knockouts now against Wilder. He has 22 knockouts. You know, no one is going to tell me that a guy 6'9", 270 something pounds can't punch. No one's going to tell me that. I like literally. You know what I mean? Like Muhammad Ali didn't have any power. Didn't have big punch power like George Foreman, but he beat George Foreman. He beat a lot of people. So you don't necessarily need big punch power. It can be an accumulation of punches. Another fighter, Sugar Ray Leonard. Sugar Ray Leonard wasn't a big puncher. He didn't have a one-hitter quitter like Hearns or Hagler. You know what I mean? But his thing was more of accumulation of punches. You see what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, same thing, accumulation of punches. So you know, it just depends. It just depends on what it is. You know what I mean? You know, Fury and his team needs to move on. Okay, yeah, we ought to look at that earlier. Martha Stubbs, how you doing, sis? What's going on with you? What you say? That's what I said about Fury. LOL. Oh yeah. Robert Blake, what do you say? Tyson lost weight. Yeah, he lost a lot of weight. You know what I mean? Yeah, he lost a lot of weight, bro. He lost a lot of weight. He did. You know, but he looks good though. I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say he don't look good. He looked real good to me. I was just thinking that, hey man, he don't lost too much weight. I think with Anthony Joshua, you know what, man? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just never seen him like that. It's a shocker to me. Ken Burton, what do you say? AJ throws combinations that AJ hurts you and break you down. AJ is a better finisher than Wilder. Yeah, yes, he is. AJ is a better. No, you know what? I can't say that. I can't say he's a better finisher than Wilder. Wilder has a higher knockout ratio. Wilder has one punch that can get you out of there. AJ puts together an accumulation of punches. You know what I mean? And I like AJ as an overall better boxer than Deontay Wilder. Absolutely. I mean, I think everybody on the planet should know that by now. But if you can hit a guy one time to get him out of there versus another guy who, you know what? Let me see. Can I properly understand what you're saying? AJ throws combinations. Facts. AJ hurts you and breaks you down. Facts. AJ is a better finisher than Wilder. Now, this is where I kind of can make an argument for Wilder at. Wilder gets you out of there with one punch. He doesn't have the combinations that AJ has because he doesn't have the boxing skills that Anthony Joshua has. You know, Wilder doesn't break you down over a period of time like AJ because he doesn't have the boxing skills that AJ has. But when it comes to finishing, Wilder hits you one time and it's over. You see what I'm saying? So finishing, he can finish. You see what I'm saying? Vic DeBotto, what do you say, Coach Malachi in the building? Yes, sir. Vic, what's going on with you, baby? Vic, I like to call you Vic. Hey, listen, after AJ, after Fury and AJ, Fury will retire. So let's force the third fight with Wilder. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, financially, it makes sense for Wilder because Wilder has made his most money. And even Fury. have made their most money fighting each other. Well, you know what? Let me. I have to fact check that. Let me take that back. I have to fact check that because I don't know how much money Fury made against fighting Vladimir Klitschko. But Wilder and Fury made the most money together fighting each other. And Wilder net worth went up a lot when he fought Tyson Fury. So it makes sense for Wilder, if he wants to fight Tyson Fury for the third time, will want to fight him because financially it makes sense. They made what, $20 to $25 million a piece that last fight off of 800,000 to 850,000 pay-per-view buys. You see what I'm saying? So that was pretty decent. You know, that I don't know, I think people might be into that. You know what I mean? So because Fury has different ambitions than Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua wants to be more of a legacy fighter. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua wants to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Fury doesn't really care anything about belts. He just want to get in there and beat you and then talk trash and brag about it or whatever. Fury and Anthony Joshua have two different objectives when it comes to the sport of boxing. So I totally agree with you on that. Fury might just say, look, I'm going to fight these few fights and I'm out of here. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what you want to do. Bro, that's bad Photoshop or someone else. Did his skull get slimmer too? No, his skull didn't get slimmer. He lost weight. I don't know. That's not Photoshop. That's not Photoshop. Fury lost weight. He lost weight. That's not Photoshop, bro. That's not Photoshop at all. People forget Fury was dropped by Cunningham. And they both was cruiserweights. Yeah, Fury got dropped. Fury did get dropped by Cunningham. You were 100% right about that. He got dropped by Cunningham and the May. He got dropped by him too. But guess what? He beat him. At the end of the day, see, I look at what happened at the end of the day. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua was beat by Andy Ruiz, stopped by Andy Ruiz. He was dropped by Andy Ruiz 4 times. I think 3 or 4 times. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that's me making the argument the other way as well. You can't look more into, you know, and I get what you're saying. You're saying that these guys were cruiserweights. They were small. Fury gets dropped. He gets dropped, but he does get dropped. Facts. You know what I mean? But Anthony Joshua get dropped too. So, you know, but Anthony Joshua did get dropped by heavyweights. He did get dropped by heavyweights. So hey, I'm gonna tell you, hey, Ken Burton, I'm gonna tell you something else. One of my favorite fighters was Tito Trinidad. I don't know how old you are, but if you remember Felix Trinidad, Tito Trinidad, he used to get dropped all the time in fights. But what happened when he got up off the ground? When he got up off the mat, he ended up knocking the guy out. He ended up finishing him. You see what I'm saying? So you may get knocked down in the fight, but how do you respond when you get back up? That's what I look at. When Andy Ruiz got knocked down by Anthony Joshua, how did he respond when he got back up? Did he tuck his tail and say, oh man, I don't got dropped. This is the great Anthony Joshua? Or did he say, no, he went for broke? He said, I ain't got nothing to lose. And he went at him, and lo and behold, we know what happened. So, you know, I'm saying I've been watching the sport of boxing long enough to know, you know, that, hey, man, when a person get knocked down, yeah, and it might be a lesser opponent in me and your eyes or whatever the case may be, but, you know, what was the end result? If a person knocked you down and you get up and you finish that person, you stop them or whatever the case may be, to me, you get more credit for that. Because this person knocked you down, you overcame the adversity of being knocked down, and you had the mentality and the mindset that I'm gonna finish this guy. You see what I'm saying? And you make the adjustments to make sure that you don't get knocked down again. So I understand what you're saying. I get it. Trust me, I do get it. Then the run up, then run up to the fight. Would you say the run up to the fight would be just as good for the banter? Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be real good, man. Whenever it happens, we don't know anything. So is Wilder really that athletic though? His output is similar to Fury's, extremely low. So the theory doesn't require much athleticism. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Now, Wilder is athletic. You know what I mean by athletic is he can play basketball. You know what I mean? He can play football. He can play several different sports. He's very athletic. Well, the thing is, he's very limited when it comes to boxing. So his boxing output, that's why he's always getting outboxed in matches, because he can't fight. Wilder can fight, but he's a terrible boxer. So he doesn't have the boxing IQ and the skills of an Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. He just going there with his limited abilities, but he understands range. He understands distance. He understands punch placement. when he throws the straight right hand. Now, when he go to doing all the windmill punching and swinging wild like yeah, that's crazy. He's living up to the wilder aspect of it. But when he's able to get a clean shot on you, you know what I mean? That's a fighter that understands range and distance. He knows, okay, I'm in striking range now. Pop, and he's quick with it. He is quick with that one punch. So he is athletic. He is athletic. When you look at and that's what athletic means, the stuff that he's able to do. He's able to play multiple sports. I mean, he's a good basketball player. Wilder's a good basketball player. Wilder's he's good at football. He's really good at several different sports. You see what I'm saying? So he had to be something in order to come in the game and do what he was able to do with with one punch. Peter Von Os, Wilder's athletic enough. He's just not very talented when it comes to boxing. Yeah, he's not very talented when it comes to boxing, but his limited boxing skills has enabled him to have the highest knockout ratio in the history of the heavyweight division. I can't take. What I won't do is, no matter how much I bang on him, I can't take that away from him. You see what I'm saying? I can't take that away from him. And if you look at it, there's no way he should have been able to accomplish what he was able to accomplish without being able to box. What fighter steps into the heavyweight division, don't know how to box, very limited on boxing skills, but was able to accomplish what Wilder was able to accomplish? Now, we can make an argument and say, well, he fought a bunch of Pizza Hut workers and Uber drivers and taxi cab drivers. Okay, we can make that argument because I make that argument all the time. But the fact still remains, if you're fighting guys who know how to box and you don't know how to box, there's no way you should have been able to beat those guys for 40 something fights. There's no way. You see what I'm saying? So I never seen it. I never seen nothing like that before, to be honest with you. But when it comes to boxing, he doesn't have the boxing skills. He doesn't. It is just not there, and it shows. Ruiz versus AJ, the first fight, AJ was not right. You can see it in the ring wall after AJ dad yelling at Eddie. Okay, we can make that argument. But AJ didn't say that. AJ said he has no excuses. When Wilder fought Fury the second fight, Wilder didn't look right. He didn't look right as well. You see what I'm saying? Wilder did not look right as well. He did not look the same to me. And that's not me just banging on him, but I'm just saying he looked, something was off with him that night. I don't know what it is or what it was. You know what I mean? Anthony Joshua didn't look right that night, but guess what? He still knocked Anthony Ruiz down. He knocked him down. So even with that, he knocked him down. So Anthony Joshua, he didn't look right that night walking to the ring. And I don't know why AJ dad was yelling at Eddie Hearns. It wasn't Eddie Hearns' fault. Eddie Hearns is not a fighter. You know what I mean? The fighter's job is to fight. If you get in the ring and you drop a guy, knock him down, you see what I'm saying? And then you go for the kill to knock him out, and that guy catches you with a punch behind your head and drops you 4 times and make you spit your mouthpiece out, that's not Eddie Hearns' fault. And he was looking good all the way up to the point where Anthony Ruiz, knocked him down. So I don't know how much to look into that, but he did look kind of off walking to the ring, just like Wilder didn't look good when he was in the ring against the second fight against Tyson Fury. But the difference is this: AJ didn't make any excuses. To this day, he didn't say anything about any excuses. He didn't say he wasn't looking right. He just said, "Hey man, Anthony Ruiz, the better man, won that night. It is what it is." He handled it like class, and that's what I like about it. He did handle it like class. So Ken Burton, what do you say on Fury training with Parker now? Yeah, I saw that. I saw the pictures, and that's what I'm saying. He looks real good. Tyson would faint if he was at 240. Tyson would never be them weights ever again. You need to look at that picture of him. There's no way he's 250, 260 and look as slim as he looked, But again, he is tall, so he has a taller frame. So I would say I don't know. I'm just guessing maybe. Well, White beat Joshua in the amateurs, but AJ knocked him out in the pros. Exactly. That goes to support exactly what I'm saying. You can't look into what someone did in the amateurs and say, well, Tyson Fury struggled with Odo Wallin. Okay, well, what was the reason why he struggled? You know, people saying that he was weight drained when he fought Odo Wallin. If Tyson Fury fought Odo Wallin again, I'm pretty sure he'll destroy that dude. And Odo Wallin can fight. I'm pretty sure he'll destroy that dude. He'll be better prepared. He'll be ready, and he'll go ahead and get that dude out of there. He'll get that dude out of there. You see what I'm saying? And I really believe that. But you can't look into what happened in the amateurs and say, hey, this is what's going to happen in the pros, especially when the guy that you're making the argument for lost to a flat-footed, 300-pound, overweight, obese heavyweight. You see what I'm saying? Because the argument that you make one way, you can make a counter argument to that. And I'm real good at making counter arguments. I can look at something that you do great and say, okay, yeah, you did that real great, but then go over here and make a counter argument as well. That's what I do. Like, I make counter arguments all day. So you're right about that. He beat AJ in the amateurs. Meanwhile, adding more weight is Andy Ruiz's game plan going to the second fight. Pauline said Joshua hits harder though. Yeah, Joshua probably hit harder though, but I'm surprised. Andy Ruiz didn't come in shape. I can make an argument for Andy Ruiz. The second fight, he didn't come in shape. He was so happy that he won the first fight, and then he was able to get more money out of Eddie Hearns for the second fight. That he didn't come in shape. If Andy Ruiz would have came in better shape, that would have been a better fight. It wouldn't have been so one-sided. But he didn't come in shape. You know what I mean? So, and that's not Anthony Joshua's fault. That was Andy Ruiz's fault. Not making an excuse for him, but it was obvious he looked like a sumo wrestler the second fight. I mean, he was already big the first fight, but then he came in the second fight looking bigger. You see what I'm saying? So that's crazy. Ken Burton, what do you say? Fury midsection helped the body shots of the fat pads and organs. Now that the fat is gone, it will hurt if he gets hit there. Yeah, body shots will hurt anybody, man. Especially, body shots is about punch placement. You see what I'm saying? It's about punch placement. If you fight somebody, let's see. One time, man. Shout out Ken Burton for the super chat, fam. Who has a better punch resistance, AJ or Fury, and why? I don't know. Both of them have been dropped before. So who has better punch resistance? Fury has been knocked down by lesser opponents. Anthony Joshua got dropped by a lesser opponent with Andy Ruiz, a guy who Joseph Parker beat. And Anthony Joshua beat Joseph Parker in the 12th round decision. Anthony Joshua got dropped by Vladimir Klitschko. Fury didn't get dropped by. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. That's a tough one. That's a tough one because it's on a fight by fight basis. I would say that it'll probably be maybe Anthony Joshua, man, I would say maybe have a better punch resistance. He could take a better punch. Now, when you say punch resistant, it's all about how do you respond when you get hit with a punch, and stuff like that. So let's say someone catch you with a real good punch, catch you with an uppercut or something, and if you can eat it, get dazed and wobbled by it, and then come back and recover. Punch resistance is all about recovery too, guys. So when someone hits you with a punch, how are you able to recover from a good shot tells the story. You see what I'm saying? So Tyson Fury recovers from shots very well. Anthony Joshua recovers from punches very well. The two times I saw him get rocked. So he recovers from punches very well. So I would say it's even. Even though you can make an argument and say that, hey, man, well, Fury got dropped by lesser opponents. Facts. That is true. But how did he recover from those punches? How did he recover from it? So punch resistance is, to me, Ken Burton, pretty much how you recover and respond and come back from the punch that hurt you. That's how I look at it. You know what I mean? So Paul X, what do you say? AJ has better resistance. Fury has better power of recovery. But I think resistance and power of recovery is when you say resistance, like tell me what your definition and understanding of what punch resistance is. I think so that's so I can better address it. What is your understanding of what punch resistance is? You guys let me know that. Peter Von Oss, I listened to Barbershop when Bob Arum was on. Bob never said that Bud was going to fight Pacquiao. No, he never said that. He didn't say he was going to fight anybody. He said that Bud was going to. He said they was going to have a big announcement. Who he's going to fight later on in this week. That's what he said. He didn't say it was going to be Pacquiao. The questions was asked Peter Varnos, I'm glad you brought that up because I'm finna go ahead and break it down like a 57 Chevy. Questions was asked from DB. Hey man, what's going on with Terrence Crawford? He said Terrence Crawford has a big announcement that's going to come up this week, about who he's going to fight, and the fight is going to be on pay-per-view. So, question was that, is it going to be Manny Pacquiao? When the last time you talked to Manny Pacquiao? Bob Arum said that it's none of your business when I talk to Manny Pacquiao. I'm not going to discuss that. And then they asked him about, what did they ask him about? Did they ask him about Sean Porter? Now, I don't know if he asked him about Sean Porter or not. I don't remember that. And so, speculation, they asked him about Keith Thurman. They asked him about Keith Thurman. And he says something of the sort that, hey, we don't want to say anything. They want to make this announcement together, who Bud is going to fight. So Team Crawford and Team whoever Bud is going to fight, they're going to make the announcement together. That's what he said. So what happened was on Barbershop, Fred and them tried to break it down and say, it's either going to be Pacquiao or Keith Thurman, because that's the only guy we see that Bud that's going to be a big pay-per-view announcement. There's nobody else he's going to fight that's going to be a big pay-per-view announcement. It can't be no Josecito Lopez. I hope not. And then, Errol Spence, that fight is gone. They're not going to fight each other. So that's where that came from. He never said that Bud was going to fight on Pacquiao. You're right. He never said that. You're right about that. You see what I'm saying? In fact, when Fred asked Bob, is there any communication with Pacquiao? He said, it's none of your business. Yeah, that is what he said. That is what he said. You know what I mean? And so that's what led people to speculate. That's where the speculation comes in at. And that's why all of these stories are coming out. He's going to fight Pacquiao. Well, he's not going to fight Pacquiao. And, so whatever's going on, people in the YouTube universe who do content creation as it relates to boxing don't know anything. That's what I'm realizing. Because, hey, Peter, let me explain something to you. When you hear different stories and different reports by different channels saying different things and stuff like that, that lets you know that don't nobody know what's going on. They speculating. You see what I'm saying? Everybody's speculating. The only people know what's going on is the people that's in the camps, right? But we don't know. We don't know. Like me being a fan of Terrence Crawford, I'm hoping that it's Terrence Crawford fight Pacquiao, because Pacquiao is a legend. You see what I'm saying? Pacquiao is top 10, one of my favorite fighters of all time, period. And he can easily be in the top 5 based on his accomplishments. You see what I'm saying? But I'm hoping, because I want this for Bud. I want this fight for Bud. Because Bud is a fighter that's hated by a lot of people in the boxing community. They don't like the guy. They don't like him. So I'm the type of guy I always root for the underdog. That's my guy. I love Terrence Crawford. So I'm hoping that that's what it is. But he never said that he's going to fight Pacquiao. Facts. What you say, probably similar to Fury's chin, but Fury recovers way faster. Yeah, Fury can recover. Wizard Sleep, what do you say, George? What has Wilder done? Everything he did was versus bus drivers. Yeah, but he knocked them all out. Yeah, he knocked them all out, man. And I agree with you. You know what I mean? His resume is not the best resume in the world, but he has a high knockout percentage ratio. And he has fought some of the fighters that Anthony Joshua has fought as well. So, there's only so many fighters in the heavyweight division, and you know what I mean? So, Wilder, he's done good, man, with his limited and in New York, AJ froze. Eamon Oliver, what do you say? In New York, AJ froze. Yeah, he froze. He did. He froze. He froze up. That wasn't a good performance by AJ when he came to New York. Anthony said he wasn't him in the ring in the first Ruiz fight. Hey, man, that sounds like an excuse to me. Because when Wilder said that, everybody jumped on Wilder and said he making excuses, me included. You know what I mean? When you step in that ring, I don't want to hear anything about it wasn't you wasn't yourself, none of that stuff. Man, when you step in that ring and you lose, and you was a 25-1 favorite and you lose, that's no excuse. You know what I mean? So he probably wasn't himself, but he can't use that as an excuse. You shouldn't have lost to Andy Ruiz. You shouldn't have lost to Andy Ruiz, in my opinion. But he did say that. He did say that, Brianna, that he wasn't himself. But it is what it is. That's not Andy Ruiz's fault. He not. But hey, Brianna. But remember, he knocked Andy Ruiz down, not being himself. So. What you say doesn't matter, dude. With Destroy King Kong with his magic floppers. Yeah, man. Yeah. Adrian, what do you say? Next day, Joshua was on the basketball court on camera after the loss. Wilder was MIA for 9 months. Exactly. And that's what I don't like about what's going on with Wilder. Wilder had his first loss, and he just went MIA. He went to twerking and, and getting his face painted, talking about he's a king and African king and all this and that from Alabama, an African king from Alabama. The irony in that. And he went saying all this crazy stuff. And then when AJ lost, they banged on AJ. The whole Alphabet Boy community talked so bad against AJ, saying he was a coward. We knew he wasn't going to win. None of this stuff. Andrew Ruiz stopped him. And when they fight the second time, and Joshua can't do anything different, and they're going to beat him again. They was hating on Anthony Joshua so hard. Let me tell you something, man. That's why I like Anthony Joshua so much, because he's a very, very classy fighter. You know what I mean? What's going on with the UK with the Fury fans and the AJ fans? I don't have anything to do with that. Whatever beef y'all have going on with each other, that's a UK issue. You see what I'm saying? But as it relates to me being a fan of boxing from the States, I love the fan of boxing. I'm not in nobody else's cliques. I love the fans boxing, and I love how classy Anthony Joshua is. Now, I wish Anthony Joshua was more of a bad guy, to be honest with you. He's too nice to me. To me, he's too nice. You see what I'm saying? But I think he probably has to be like that because it's been working for him from a brand standpoint, from a standpoint of getting endorsements and making all of this money. He's worth 100 million pounds. So if he's worth 100 million pounds or more, you know what I mean? Then hey, what the hell do I know? You know what I mean? What he's doing is working for him. You see what I'm saying? So I respect Anthony Joshua a lot. I really like that young man a lot, man. He's a real good fighter. He's a classy guy. I don't like the flack, the hate that he gets from the Alphabet Boy community, and I don't like the hate that Terrence Crawford gets from that same community as well. You see what I'm saying? So I really, really like AJ. He's a real good fighter, man, and he didn't run. After he lost to Andrew Ruiz, he stayed in the United States. I mean, I'm not saying living here, but he was here. Like you said, he went and played basketball, walking through New York. He just felt like he didn't duck and hide. Wilder ducking and hiding and twerking and chewing on Chico sticks and all this other stuff, man. And you got to know how to face the music. You can't talk bad about Anthony Joshua when he loses, and then when you lose, you go into hiding. And then this is another thing. I'm gonna tell you guys something else. Remember when when Anthony Joshua came to the States, he was supposed to fight who? Gerald Big Baby Miller, but he got popped being a drug cheat. You know what I mean? He got popped with PEDs, and then he made an offer to who? Luis Ortiz, the guy who they say was the boogeyman of the division. The boogeyman turned down a fight to make millions of dollars to fight Anthony Joshua to go fight Wilder for $500,000 to $700,000, something like that. You see what I'm saying? The boogeyman of the division. He was afraid. He didn't fight Wilder. He turned down a multi-million-dollar payday to fight Anthony Joshua so he can go fight an in-house fight, a PBC fighter with Deontay Wilder. Remember what was going on at that time? They was trying to do what? Freeze AJ out. This is why Tyson Fury came to the States and got it on with Wilder. All of them was together trying to do what? Freeze Anthony Joshua out. You see what I'm saying? It backfired. Now Fury got to come back and fight who? He got to fight the cash cow if he want to make the kind of money he wants to make. You see what I'm saying? Trying to freeze AJ out didn't work. It backfired. And time has shown that, because the guy who was colluding trying to freeze AJ out and was calling him a coward, now he's in hiding somewhere. We can't find him anymore. Andrew Ruiz, no one never even heard of this guy. You see what I'm saying? I'm not saying that no one knew who Andrew Ruiz was in the heavyweight division. Of course we did. We knew who he was, but he wasn't famous or popular or none of that. He was barely making money in the heavyweight division. Even when he fought Joseph Parker, he was barely making money. You see what I'm saying? But as soon as anybody who fights Anthony Joshua, their net worth goes up, period. It's their highest payday. And then everybody in the States from the Alphabet Boy community, what did they do? They jumped on Anthony. They jumped on Ruiz. This is our champion. Andrew Ruiz is the man. But prior to Andrew Ruiz fighting Anthony Joshua, nobody was talking about Andrew Ruiz. Facts. And I'm not just saying facts because that's what the Alphabet Boys say, but I'm just saying facts. Who was talking about Andrew Ruiz in the boxing universe? Who was talking about Andrew Ruiz prior to him fighting Anthony Joshua? Nobody. He became big fighting Anthony Joshua. So, yeah, man, you're right about that. So Wilder went in hiding. He can dish it, but he can't take it. Is what I'm saying. Desert Crebo, what do you say? Fury's gloves were flopping around like balloons. He is banned in the UK for PEDs. You know what? Anybody from the UK can address Fury still being banned, because from what he's saying, Fury is still banned in the UK. He cannot fight in the UK. Can anybody from the UK address that? And Fury gloves was flopping around like balloons. That was the first fight. You see what I'm saying? And it turned out to be a draw. It was the first fight, and really Fury won 10 rounds, but he got robbed, in my opinion. He put on a boxing exhibition against Wilder in that first fight. So it is what it is. But anybody from the UK can address that. I'm like, this is, I don't even know what to say anymore on that, to be honest with you. It just sounds like the the teacher. If you guys watch Charlie Brown, and you know how they're in the classroom talking to the teacher, and the teacher, when the teacher speaks, it's like wah 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 wah. That's what it sounds like to me. It's like, yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. What you say? AJ can't say anything. If he does heads, will roll. Yeah, he can't say anything. It's like people are very, very critical of AJ. LOL, lame excuses. Yeah. Imagine even typing that. Let's see. Ken Burton, what do you say, New Media Today? Would the scar tissue above Fury's eye be a problem in the AJ fight? Well, when he fought Wilder, it wasn't a problem, and he got hit. You know what I mean? So, anytime, like, I have scar tissue when I was to box. I have one right here in my left eye and my right eye. I have scar tissue, so it's always going to be soft, because that's a soft. Your eyelid is a soft part of your thing. You know what I mean? It just depends. If you get hit the right punch, the cut will open up. It'll open up. So who knows? But it depends on the punch placement as well, too, Ken. So if AJ can land that right punch to where the glove can rip the flesh open over the eye, it could be a problem. Who knows? You know what I mean? But what you say? Let's see. In Bloom, what do you say, fam? Just imagine if Beyonce was promoted by Eddie Hearn from day one. The SLDBC would made LDBC have made Wilder unpopular and laughing in the laughing stock. Yeah, I don't know. Those guys, listen, those guys are walking contradictions, man. Those guys, man, it's like, what you say? What do you say, Breonna Shepard? Fury got up twice on Wilder's punches. Yes, he did. He got up twice on Wilder's punches. Yes, he did. Desert Creeper, what do you say? It's not an excuse if your eyes saw Fury fist in the wrist. No, it's not an excuse. I'm just saying that is facts. That is what happened. But you saying all that to say what? Fury gloves was flopping in the first fight. So you saying all of that to say what? What do you mean by that? Are you saying all that to say what? All right, getting hit after the punch. Let's see. What you say? Punch resistance after getting punched. I don't know what that means. What you saying? Shelton Moore, what do you say, fam? Coach, does Wilder need a tune-up fight? That's if Wilder fights again. The type of money that he made fighting Tyson Fury, those two fights, it's going to have to be something that's going to make him want to come back to boxing. We don't even know if he's going to fight. We haven't heard anything from him. I can't. And then Wilder's 35 years old now. He's 35. You know what I mean? He's getting older. So that's another thing too. Wilder is the oldest out of the three heavyweights between Fury, Wilder, and Anthony Joshua. Wilder is the oldest. I think Fury is 32 or 33, and I think AJ is like 31, going on 32. So who knows? If he fights again, he probably will need a tune-up. I don't think he should jump back in there with Tyson Fury, definitely for that, because psychologically, I think that fight done something to him, because he had remember, he had an image and a mentality that, see, the brand that was built for Wilder, he was the baddest man on the planet. He was the most feared man on the planet. This is what ESPN was spitting out over here in the States and stuff like that, and with his fans, and he, yada, 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 yada. So, and when you start believing that stuff, and then you have and I'm not making this racial at all, but I got to address this point because it was brought to me from the Alphabet Boys. When you have a 6'9" white boy who beats the pro-black guy from Wakanda, aka Alabama, and he has this image that was perceived of him being invincible, it does something to him psychologically, because you can't accept the fact that you lost to a white boy, and the fact that he came over here 700 pounds in the first fight and you couldn't finish him, and then in the second fight he destroyed you on Black History Month, when you had a Black Lives Matter rapper come to the ring and sang a pro-black song in front of all of your Wakandaites, and he embarrasses you and destroys you and crush that image of invincibility, that I think that done something to him. And it shows me how weak-minded he is because he's been in hiding ever since then. So Shelton Moore, I agree with you, sir. I think he will need a tune-up fight. He'll need a tune-up fight to get his confidence back. You know what I mean? Throw another tomato can in there, man. Let him fight Dominique Brazil again, or fight Luis Ortiz. He can fight Ortiz again, or maybe even find Bermain Stavern somewhere, you know, or Trevor Bryan. Maybe he can fight one of those guys to build him up, you know? That's what I'm thinking anyways, Shelton. AJ holds a punch better than Fury, but he takes multiple rounds to recover, stays hit. Fury doesn't, but recovers freakishly fast. Yeah, and in boxing, that's what it's all about, the recovery. It's how you can take a punch and recover from it. That's what it's all about. Because you get in front of the wrong opponent, you get in front of the right opponent, and they catch you with a punch, and you can't recover from that punch, and something else. So, you know, but AJ recovered pretty good against the Vladimir Klitschko fight when he got dropped. He recovered from that pretty good. Crebo, tell me how Fury was able to rock Wilder with the stiff jab, then if his hands wasn't in the glove in the second fight. So yeah, the Joker. Yeah, I see what you're saying. So who is Wilder fighting next, or is he retired? Well, there hasn't been official announcement on him being retired, so we don't know who he's fighting next. He's in hiding right now. Remember, I shot a video. I found him last week. I talked to McKean. I talked to him. He didn't give me any specifics saying when he was going to come back, but he did say he was going to come back. So, you know, that's from me to you. All right, Killy Boy here from Scotland. Andy came that shape, showed that he was there for the money. Yeah. He was there for the money. He didn't care. Tell him what's going on, fam. He said you back. Even though I hate the fight, Thurman versus Crawford is pay-per-view worthy. Yeah, man. Keith Thurman is from my city. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would love that fight. I would love to see that fight. Keith Thurman and I would love to see Keith Thurman and Terrence Crawford. I would love to see Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter. I think that's the fight that need to be made next. I wasn't even talking about no Manny Pacquiao fight. I think Pacquiao should have retired after he beat Thurman. But and I think in either one of those fights, those are going to be great fights for fight fans. Great fights for us. AJ holds a belt. Okay, let me see. He said, who hates Bud Crawford? They just jealous of him. The LDBC, they don't like that dude, man. They don't like him. They because what happens is they are pro Errol Spence. They're pro PBC. They're not fans of the sport of boxing. They are fans of narratives and certain fighters. So if this is the guy that you're going to draw the line in the sand with, and when you are a content creator telling another fighter what purse split he should be taking and how much money this guy has and how much money that guy has, now you pocket watching. So you pocket watching. You are you are the representative of a fighter who doesn't even know you, and you're going at it hard for this guy, and that's what it is. That's the problem, you know. So, and the fact that he's with the promotional company that you don't like, I've never in the sport of boxing seen fans fight or argue over a fighter being with the promotional company that they didn't like, and that's why this fight shouldn't happen or that fight shouldn't happen because he with the wrong promotional company. Never seen anything like that before in my life. Never. But here we are today. Let's see. Dizzy Creeper, what do you say? Why is Fury hiding from a valid contract? In the USA, a contract is a contract, a deal is a deal. Well, you don't know Dizzy, the everything that's going on with that contract, because Wilder never said anything. And contracts do have expiration dates. So we won't know anything until the arbitration. You know, and Fury is not hiding. Fury's been out everywhere. Deontay Wilder has been the one that's hiding. Do you know where he's at, Dizzy? Can you answer that? Since you seem like you're speaking for him, can you tell me where is Deontay Wilder? Is he twerking somewhere or whatever? Where is your king? Tell me where he's at, because we looking for him. I found him last week though. So yeah, but Killy Boy, what do you say? Killy Boy from Scotland in the heavyweight division, 1 point can change the fight. The fight, the top of the hits. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. King Kong, what do you say? Fury 18.5 or 19 stone is his fight weight with dismantle. Yeah, I don't know how to translate stones into pounds. You know, so maybe y'all can break that down for me. Let's see. Peter Barnas, I'm gonna have a feeling Wilder is going to get squat from the arbitration. Is due to the length of time it's taking. Yeah, if he had such a slam dunk case, how come we haven't heard anything yet from it? That's been going on for a little bit now. Coach, your king will return. Yes, he will return. He will return. And when he returns, we're going to go and we're going to retake Wakanda. We're going to take Wakanda back, even though Wakanda is a fictitious country that was created by a white man named Stan Lee. You see what I'm saying? And even though Black Panther, the character, was created by a white man named Stan Lee. You know what I mean? So the irony in that. Make that make sense. Make that make sense to me. You know what I mean? So why is it for the new boxing generation fans? If you lose one fight, your career is over. Yeah, I have no idea, man. I have no idea. I have no idea. You know what I mean? What you say, Shut Moore? I like the AJ that I saw against Pulev. Yeah, Pulev was tailor-made for AJ. Slow, big guy, but Pulev only lost 2 fights. So what? Before he fought AJ, the only fight he lost was against Klitschko. Klitschko beat him, and that was it. So that was a good fight, though. That was a good fight for him. Big and slow dude. Tailor-made for AJ. A lot of people hate Fury because he says it how it is. Some people can't handle the truth of Tyson Fury. I mean, you know what, man? I don't know, man. I think what's going on with the Fury situation in the States with the Black Power community, they don't like him because he beat a king. And then in the UK, you know, you got AJ fans saying one thing about Tyson Fury fans, and then you have Tyson Fury fans saying one thing about AJ fans. So you know that's in-house. That's between you guys. I have anything to do with that. Killer boy from Scotland. If we don't get the fights, fans won't soon. These freak shows fights will start overtaking boxing. Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right about that. You're right about that. So let's see what we have. King Kong, what do you say? Tyson Fury would never lose. If he was going to lose, he would have lost to Wilder in the first fight when he was 60%. I don't mean he won't never lose, but that was the fight that was to me, that was the fight that really exposed Deontay Wilder could not box when he fought Tyson Fury the first fight. When he was coming off 700 pounds, you know what I mean, out of the ring for 3 years, had 2 garbage tune-up fights. That was the time that Wilder should have finished him, and he didn't. Helene, what do you say? He's not banned in the UK. Yeah, that's the narrative that's going on over here, man. They keep saying that he's banned in the UK. Let's see. Wole, what's going on, fam? What up, fam? Just coming in from work. Yeah. Let's see. What do you say? Ruiz, Peter Varnas, we say Ruiz has a great camp now. He's dedicated and enthusiastic about his career. Yeah, he's with Eddie Reynoso, Canelo Alvarez trainer. You know what I mean? So you have to respect that. Let me get to some of these comments I have down here. Let's see. Fear, yeah, you address that. Y2K, what's going on, man? AJ recovered fast because Vlad gassed out. I love Thurman versus Pacquiao. Yeah, that was a good fight. You know what I mean? King Kong, what do you say? Manny Pacquiao isn't a better boxer than Mayweather, but Pacquiao is a better pound for pound. Yeah, Pacquiao's a bad boy. 8 division world champion. He's been boxing since he was 12. You know, literally, this guy had to fight to make money to feed his 8 siblings. I think 6 or 7 or 8 siblings and his mom. That's how poor he was in the Philippines, literally, at 98 pounds. So, you know, man, I ain't got nothing, brother. I ain't have anything bad to say about Manny Pacquiao, man. He's a legend. His legend is cemented, and the cement is dry, period. So, Joe B, what do you say? Them jokers mad, Bud don't go on their channels and give them time of day. Yeah, that's what it is. The Oliver McCall was sad, bro, not funny. He has mental illness, sad to see. Yeah, Oliver McCall, yeah. What do you say? Wole, what do you say? I was around the LDBC when they tried to be friends with Terrence Crawford, who noticed their fakery and ignored them, not allowing them to get interviews. From that time on, they hated on them. Yeah, that's what it's all about. They're not fans of the sport of boxing. Vlad would let him off the hook. He said Vlad let him off the hook, to be fair, as well as I remember him and Vitaly discussing in the corner how AJ would gas out. So it's safe to take his time rather than jump on him. Yeah, Y2K, what he say? Didn't Aaron say the arbitration was over though? Yes, he did. He lied about that. I addressed that. He lied about that. It's a bunch of lies going on. Aaron said the arbitration was over. You know what I mean? The LDBC lied and said that Wilder's going to get $100 million, $120 million. He gonna get a layaway down payment plan. It's lies coming from everywhere. You see what I'm saying? I addressed that. I addressed it in the last, and I think I addressed it a couple of videos ago. Let's see. If Tyson Fury wins, it will make the whole sport of boxing different in 2022. There may be even a rematch. Also, my opinion. But have you seen Tyson Fury's gloves floppy? Yeah, in the first fight. In the first fight, they were floppy. But if you look at other fights, Muhammad Ali had flappy gloves in some fights too. Certain fighters had that. That's because the glove, you know, I don't know if you ever seen, you know, like I've been watching boxing a long time. A lot of times when the fighters are boxing, because of the perspiration and the sweat, the gloves will slip off and the tape will start coming loose. When the tape starts coming loose, then the hands will slip down in the glove. That's why if you watch the Tyson Fury fight, the first fight when he fought Deontay Wilder, what did the referee do? Took him over there in the corner and said, "Hey man, retape the glove." You said that's why they do that. That happens in boxing though. It happens in boxing. But let me ask you a question: the flappy gloves. If you know anything about boxing, I box. If my fist is not all the way in the glove, you can't hurt me. You literally can't hurt me with a punch because it's all cushion right there. You see what I'm saying? So, like literally, you know, King Kong, big up the Black Panther. Yeah, big up to the Black Panther. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. So yeah, back to what I was saying. Now let's see. Smile to smile. We finna get ready to wrap it up in a little bit, guys. Let me address a few more questions. Fighters are now a quarter of what they were in the 90s. The 90s and the 80s. They're a quarter of that. You know, except if you're a throwback fighter, man, like my main man Bud, that's a throwback fighter there, bro. Ken Burton, what do you say? In boxing, you lose. All great fighters lost. Evander lost 10 times. Lewis lost 2 times. Even Ali. Yeah, all the greats lose. Hell, my favorite fighter, Sugar Ray Robinson, lost. But he was a champion for like 10, 11 years. Joe Louis. You see what I'm saying? I can go on and on and on. You know what I mean? You know, they trying to be Floyd Mayweather, but they don't understand. Like these fight fans, the problem is this. They want these fighters want to be Floyd Mayweather. We want to be Money May. Okay, but you forgot Pretty Boy Floyd. Pretty Boy Floyd was an assassin. You see what I'm saying? And and Pretty Boy Floyd, when he was Errol Spence's age, I think he was worth $200 million, something like that. So, I mean, bro, like it ain't like these fighters here, man, just need to fight each other. Period. You're right. It was Vitaly that advised Wilder or Vlad to take his time. AJ pulled it off. Yeah. My comment would trigger you. They just announced the fight already. Fury already looks in tremendous shape. What fight did they announce? Let me know. What fight did they announce? Let me look on my phone, see what you're talking about. Maybe Wilder should fight that dude from Africa, calling him out. I have no idea who that dude from Africa is. No idea. Ken Burton, what do you say? Effie or Jabba versus Wilder? Both of them from the same country. Who wins? Wilder's from Alabama. He's from America. So, but no, they are on the same. I think they are with the same. I think Effie or Jabba is a PBC fighter. Evander the real deal Holyfield, the best cruiserweight ever. Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that whole hands down. Tyson Fury is a bum slayer whose resume is very weak. An overrated boxer, bad footwork, sloppy sometimes, can be beaten by top 10, who he never fights. He hasn't even fought a top 20 guy. He never fought a top 20 guy. He fought Wilder. So he has bad footwork. You clearly do. I don't know what Tyson Fury you've been watching. Sloppy sometimes. Yeah, I don't know what types of Fury you've been watching. And he's undefeated. So if all this stuff that you're saying about Fury, you know, can be beaten by a top 10 fighter, well, the same can be said for Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua lost to a 300-pound sumo wrestler, Andrew Ruiz. Andrew Ruiz wasn't a top 10 fighter. So, you know, hey, man. Make counter argument. As Kurt would say, counter punch. You know what I mean? I like when Kurt would say that, counter punch. Anyways, guys, let me go ahead and wrap this up. Man. I'm gonna give everybody a shout out before we go. Clemente Lara, what's going on, fam? What's good? Mr. Agnes, what's going on? James Burrell, what's going on, fam? Kaden, what's going on, fam? Salute to you. King Kong, what's going on? Let's see. William, what's going on, fam? Talking about AJ and Fury. Listen to me, White will give. Okay, William, what's going on, fam? Smile, what's going on, fam? Paul CX, what's going on? Salute to you. Pound for pound, what's going on? What's going on, brother? Pound for pound boxing, real news. Salute to you, fam. Salute. Let's see. King Kong, Ken Burton, Brennan Smith, salute to you, fam. Let's see. Paul CX, salute to you. Wole, salute to you. Let's see. Joe B, what's going on, fam? My comment would trigger you. What fight they just announced? I don't know. What's going on? Let's see. Fighters are now smile to smile. King Kong. Let's see. Y2K, what's going on, fam? Salute to you. Salute to you, fam. Let's see. Make sure I get everybody. Halim, salute to you, brother. Let's see. Mr. Angus. Keep saying Mr. Agnes. Mr. Angus. What's going on, fam? I keep messing your name up. I have somebody I know named Mr. Agnes, so that's why. Let's see. Smile to smile, King Kong. Sean Hartley, what's going on, fam? Salute to you. Wizard Sleeve, salute to you, fam. Kim Burton, salute to you. Joe B, Shelton Moore, what's going on, my brother? Let's see. Peter Barnarks, what's going on, fam? Salute to you. Anthony Stark, salute to you, fam. Let's see. Wole, I already said salute to you. The Joker, salute to you. Alex Renee, salute to you. Let's see. Maxi, well, salute to you, fam. Maxi B, salute to you. Let's see. Who else we have? We have Old Gaffer, salute to you. Anthony Kane, salute. HXLX, salute. Shelton Moore, salute. Peter Von Ark, salute. Desi Crebo, salute. Tell him, my main man, tell him, salute. Adrian, salute. Hey, that's I love when Rocky say that. Kim Burton, salute. Brianna Shepard, salute. Let's see who else we have. Emmett Oliver, salute. In Bloom, salute, fam. Adrian, salute. Hey, shout out to Punch Boxing. Shout out to Punch Boxing, man. Follow if you go to Punch Boxing, it's a damn good channel. That brother is hilarious. Shout out to him, man. Follow Punch on Punch Boxing. Punch Boxing. Follow H Money Boxing. That's another good channel. And you know the other one's Kurt and Counterpunch Boxing and my main man Kurt from Counterpunch Boxing and Showbiz the Adult. Other than that, guys, that's it, man. We signing out, man. It's our boy Coach Malachi Williams, represent for New Media Today USA Boxing. And peace.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.